Hello and welcome to Euphoria. In this video I'm going to explore making an elevator or lift for my latest LEGO building MOC. I'm designing a building for my LEGO city. It will be a modern multi-storey office building that will be a research institute, and I call this the Ensgrave building. The building will be quite large and will be 48 studs wide and 5 stories high. It's meant to be a modern kind of construction with a steel frame and glass walls, but all built of LEGO, of course. This will be quite a tall building, so as part of the design I decided it's going to have an elevator or lift instead of lots of flights of stairs. So in this video I'll try to work out how I can make an elevator that works within the framework of a modular building. It may or may not work out, but let's try and we'll see what happens. In the previous videos in this series, we looked at the inspiration behind this MOC, the development of the concept for the building, the selection of options, leading to the structural design. If you haven't seen them yet, you might want to look at those previous videos in this series. There's a link in the card above and in the description below. And while I'm here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to see new videos about this MOC, my other developments and my LEGO city. So now let's look at how to make a LEGO elevator for my modular building. I need to work out how I can make an elevator car or lift and an elevator shaft that works within the framework of a modular building. First of all, I need to work out what the elevator car, the actual lift itself, is going to be. Then I can design the elevator shaft and mechanism to fit around it and hopefully make it work. I could make a very small elevator car for only one minifig, but for a large office building I want an elevator that can fit 2 minifigs. When I tried that out, I found it needs to be a minimum of 4 by 6 studs. I tried playing around with different shapes for the elevator car, but if it's going into an elevator shaft, which will be square or rectangular, there's only so much you can do with the shape of the elevator car. I did start to wonder about how to make the elevator shaft itself, and there are some disadvantages of having an internal elevator shaft. For example, it needs holes in each floor, making the floor plate structure complicated. It takes up floor space on each level of the building. It needs walls all around the shaft and walls for the elevator. And of course, if it's inside the building, it's not very visible. The elevator shaft around the car is going to take up 1 stud of bricks in each direction. That could take a lot of bricks and use a lot of space to have an enclosed elevator shaft on all the floors. Some modern buildings do away with the need for an elevator shaft in the building by having an external elevator, and I wondered if I could do the same. An external elevator generally has some sort of rail to guide it and hold it in place, rather than an elevator shaft. So I started looking for ideas on how to make a vertical rail. I tried various ideas, including using bricks with a vertical bar and bricks with a groove. They all have issues, including problems with making separable floors without leaving gaps in the rail. Then I wondered if I could make a vertical rail using an actual rail element. The normal train tracks would be far too large, but roller coaster tracks could be neat. There is quite a variety of roller coaster track elements available, but there are only 2 straight track sections. There's a short one, which is 8 studs long, and a long one, which is 16 studs long. When I mount these tracks vertically, then the short one becomes 6 2/3 bricks high, or 6 bricks and 2 plates, and the long one becomes 13 1/3 bricks high, or 13 bricks and 1 plate. To make the floors separable in my modular building, then ideally the track brakes will be at the same point as the brakes between stories in the building. Then I can attach them to the sides of the building and have a continuous track up the side of the building to whatever height I want the building to be. Having an external elevator gives me a lot more freedom for creative designs for the elevator car. But the main problem I still need to solve is how to get the elevator car to run smoothly on the roller coaster tracks. I did think about using a single roller coaster track and then using the roller coaster car assembly. This would ride on the track well, but doesn't really work because the track is kind of in the way of minifigures getting in and out of the elevator car. So I quickly decided that I need a track on each side of the elevator car. My first designs used the aircraft undercarriage piece and a pulley wheel to engage with the sides of the track. I designed this in Bricklink Studio, but in order to check that it works, I decided to build a prototype. And this is what I built. But I was disappointed to find out that it actually doesn't fit in the tracks as I thought it would do from the studio build. I'm not quite sure why that is. I think sometimes the data files that Studio uses don't represent all the details of parts like wheels and the way that they interact with other parts like the track. So anyway, because that was too wide, I decided to try and rebuild it a slightly different way, and I used these angle plates to provide a kind of connection to the roller coaster track on each side. And that seemed to fit the track pretty well and hold the elevator car in place. It slides up and down freely and it doesn't wobble around very much. But then I looked at another way of doing it, which is to use 1x1 headlight bricks to inset the studs slightly, and use two round plates on either side, which kind of look like wheels, even though they don't operate as wheels or pulleys. But it gives quite a neat look, and the elevator car fits really closely against the roller coaster track on either side. In the end, I got some more parts so that I could make a rather nicer looking version of the elevator car with this neat curved roof and the curved front window in the same translight blue glass that will match the rest of the building. So now I'm going to build a prototype system using this design for the tracks and car. To do this, I've built a slightly higher track for the elevator. The elevator car fits on snugly and slides quite happily up and down the track without getting stuck on any of the joins in the track. Now, to make the elevator car go up and down, I need some sort of elevator cable. I'd like to use one of those LEGO strings with a stud at each end, but the longest one of those is only 31 centimeters long. LEGO does make longer strings without the studs at the end, but they're difficult to find and expensive, so I bought some of this stuff. It's a 1mm braided cord made of nylon, which I would call lacing cord, although I've also seen it called rat tail thread. It's very similar to LEGO's string, and you can get it in any length. So I'm going to attach that to the elevator car that I've made and use it to pull it up and down the track. That seems to work pretty well, with the string pulling the elevator car up and it just going down under its own weight. Now I need some kind of winding mechanism. So I built a manual winding mechanism just with a kind of spool or drum built from Lego and a simple direct manual winder to pull the elevator up the track and let it down again. It would be nice to add a motorised winch system. I'd need to fit a Lego motor into the machine room at the top and fit a stopping or reversing mechanism to stop or reverse the elevator car at the top and bottom of the track. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that, so if anyone does know how to do that, using something like Powered Up, then please let me know. So that's the design so far, and the prototype build of my external elevator system for the Ensgrave building. This looks quite nice, and the idea of using tracks to guide the elevator car does seem to work reasonably well. It's a shame that I can't use pulley wheels for the elevator car, but the new design using round plates to guide the car works rather well. They don't need to work as wheels, as there's no weight on them, and they're just guiding the elevator car along the track. On the basis that this all works, I'm going to proceed with this design for the Ensgrave building. There are some other things I want to check before moving on to the detailed design for this building. So I'll probably do a bit more prototyping of other parts of the build before moving on to the detailed design stage. So look out for more videos in this series where I'll be completing the design and getting on with the build for this modular building MOC. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos about LEGO modular buildings and my LEGO city.